first got involved in detecting, going back years ago, just because of my son's want to buy a detector. He was 10 years old, he got some birthday money, and he said, I want to buy a detector. So we went along with it, you know, we laughed a bit about it.
We laughed and mocked at him, and
we said, really, and he bought a detector.
My mum bought me a Roman coin, a Roman silver denarius, and just, you know, holding that as a Christmas present, I mean, it was brilliant. I just thought, well, I want to find one of these myself, you know, that would be awesome. So shortly after, I asked for a metal detector for a birthday present. And they bought it for me, even though they thought I was pretty crazy, really, and it probably wouldn't last. But here I am, you know, 12 years later. We used to just go down to beaches. We didn't really find a lot, but I was still hooked from the beginning. Eventually my dad joined me. He got his own metal detector. And then my mum, she also joined then a year later, and she got her metal detector as well.
And then before you knew it, as time went on, we all progressed. Slowly moved over to the XP Deus, you know. And we haven't looked back. It's always been a great machine. It's always been...
It's never let us down.
Never let us down.
Yeah.
We've had some amazing finds with the XP Deus. But yeah, it was initially Liam's love for history, and that's how we got into it.
Well, my XP Deus come as a birthday present when I believe it was my 13th birthday. My mum and dad promised me that they would get me one if I did well in my school exams. So obviously I smashed them. I did the best I could, and they bought me an XP Lite, so just a 9-inch coil, no control box, but I didn't care. It was still an XP Deus, you know. It was brilliant. I'd obviously tried. My dad, he'd already bought an XP Deus, so whenever I used to go out with just my mum and my dad was perhaps working, I'd borrow his detector just to use it. And yeah, I loved it. It was, you know, it's so lightweight, you know, very technical, and it would just pick up the tiniest of targets, you know. Started to find more hammer coins, more Roman coins, and I've just stuck with the XP Deus ever since. I don't think I'll ever change either.
For a woman who moans a lot about her elbows and shoulders, it's weight. The weight for me, from the first time I swung your one,
Yeah.
the weight, totally. Once you get to know your tones, I mean, I originally used to use Fast. That was my go-to program when I first got it.
Yeah.
And then Nick watched Gary's videos many times and said, oh, he's created this new program called Hot, I might try it. And you tried it, and you straight away were picking stuff up. We was visiting a friend.
But you didn't like it at first?
No, that's what I was going to say. We visited a friend on his permission, and you went off and found loads of stuff, and I thought I might just try it. So I put it in. I thought, didn't like it because it was so noisy at first, but as soon as your ears tune in and you hear that proper nice tones, that was it. That's all three of us. That's all we ever really use is Hot program.
The other thing about the Deus is it's so
it's versatile.
Versatile. You can, you know, there's so many programs. You can change it to the different sort of field you're on, or different sort of soils. You can change what sort of tones you want, how many tones you want, if you want pitch or...
Massively versatile machine.
It's so versatile, but again for me as well, it's the lightness, the wireless, the MI6. I mean, that is a game. That's a game changer. Without a doubt.
You weren't even. You won that in the competition, didn't you, from America?
But to be able to switch onto your MI6 and it comes through on your headphones, that's amazing. And obviously switch it off and straight back to your coil. Just a fantastic machine. You know, I've had the 9-inch, the 11-inch, now the HF.
Yep.
You're now moving on to
the Deus 2, which is, I've found it kind of a fairly easy transition, really, to be honest. I've made up a program which to me is sort of similar to Hot on the old one, kind of similar, and I'm getting on all right with it, I must admit. I can go light. I trust it enough to go light just on the tones, but yeah, I find it it's an easy transition. It is
a new machine.
Yeah.
It's not a Deus 1, it's a completely different animal, but it's got similarities in how you program it. I think the program is very easy. And you can sort of set it up if you want to try and get a similar program to the Deus 1 program,
absolutely,
like the Hot program, or you know, using full tones. So it's just versatile, but it's a learning curve. It's a new machine, a learning curve, and you're enjoying it.
I'm finding things with it all right, yeah.
So, But overall, XP Deus's machines have been fantastic.
They're proven.
Really
they're
enjoyed them.
long proven, aren't they?
But I've never had lack of confidence in my XP Deus. It's always been, you know,
Same.
it's been my,
Liam's the same,
absolutely number one machine, you know, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't change for anything.
So my favourite coin, I would probably say, is a half a Canute Saxon penny. I was shocked when I found it. It just came out of nowhere. It was a field that we hadn't really had any hammer coinage on. Just had a nice shallow target, and there it was. I didn't have to use my shovel. I just sort of picked it out with my hand, and you know, just looking at it, it was. I knew it was Saxon straight away, but I didn't expect it to be of King half a Canute. Quite a rare coin.
Looking back at our favourite finds, or some of our best finds, I'd say we've had an array of excellent artefacts through to coinage, Roman coinage, Saxon coinage, Celtic coinage. But looking back, probably my favourite artefact is now in the Bishop Stortford Museum. It's a early 14th century medieval silver seal, and it's got a lovely green jasper intaglio. When I found it, I thought it was a Victorian pendant. It was a bit, you know, because I was a novice, very early to the hobby. So that always sticks in my mind as an amazing find.
It's one of your favourites, yeah.
You've had...
Oh, my unique Roman brooch, which I actually brought with me to show you today. It's the weirdest looking thing you've ever seen. It's 1st, 2nd century bow brooch. It was obviously recorded, that's what they've recorded it as. But it's the strangest looking thing you've ever seen. It's got like lots of spokes coming out of it. It looks like it was probably a bunch of flowers in its day, as in where it was sort of bits on top of it. But it's massive, absolutely massive.
Probably the standout coin for me was a Saxon shilling or thrimser, gold thrimser, that I found a few years ago. And that's...
But that had to be sold to split the proceeds, because that was worth too much money.
Obviously the farmer was delighted with that when I showed him that. But that was a King of Kent, so it was an Eadbald King of Kent, and it was the first English coin to have a king's name on it. It tends to be me that looks for the pottery, you know, stuff like that. So
a couple of times now I've walked into your area and found the only denarius that's there.
She walked straight in, I got a denarius.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. But we've been very lucky, very lucky.
I love detecting with my mum and dad. You know, it's detecting on your own is fun, and if you're finding things on your own, it's great. But to share that moment with your mum and dad, you know, is brilliant, really, and it's nowhere near as lonely. You know, if you find something, I can call them over and, you know, share the moment with them. So yeah, I've always loved that.
We love history. We love the fresh air. We love it that it's a family thing we can do together. Family competition. There's lots of banter, lots of
lots of that.
Yeah, lots of Sue's going to find what.
And I feel like it's brought me closer to my mum and dad as well. You know, I think some other kids don't really have, you know, hobbies with their parents, and I'm quite appreciative that I do have this, you know, with them. It's quite a special thing. Of course, there is competition. In the past, there's been an element of competition. You know, who can find the most hammer coins in a certain year, or Roman coins. When I was younger, I used to love that. You know, it was brilliant. Not so much now. You know, I'm pretty chill now. Whoever makes a nice find, I'm happy. As long as one of us comes home with something nice in our pockets, that's fine with me.
So we've had some laughs, and we've met some amazing friends over the years through the detecting world. Been in some great groups, been on some fantastic rallies and charity events. But yeah, love it. Wouldn't look back. You know, I mean, it's an amazing hobby.